I got to clean the camera off and it totally looks blurry. Hi, Jenna. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started. You guys let me know if you can see everything okay. I forgot to clean my camera off. Let me know if you can hear okay. Oh, okay. Sweet, that's awesome. Maybe it's just mine. Just gonna let everybody know Junior's not with me today. He had to work, but Morgan is here. So Morgan's gonna help us keep the crazy comments at bay, I guess. Just gonna wait a couple more minutes, Jenna, and see if we get a couple more people. I got some really exciting kind of big news to talk about, like astrologically. So I'm kind of excited. Eliana's here. Hi, Eliana. I was just saying we're just gonna wait just a couple of minutes before we get started. How are you guys doing today? How's everybody's dreams? You guys tell me about your dreams. I've been getting a lot of people messaging me still about their dreams, but people are actually starting to journal. So I'm like, yes, people are listening. I'm surprised the journals are going as quickly as they are, but I'm super, super grateful. So for all of you guys that have gotten one, thank you so very much. I very, very much appreciate your support. And they were super easy to make. So like now I'm super excited. I definitely want to make more of them. And I want to make them bigger because I did think they were going to be a little bigger. But once I started writing in it, I realized 50 pages is a lot. But yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I dream a lot. So I'm constantly, writing it down. So Jenna says, I haven't been remembering much, but I see my twin in my dreams in short flashes. That's interesting. The journals are not in the Etsy shop. Oh my gosh, Eliana, you're so wonderful. They very much should be in the Etsy shop. But no, I hadn't done that yet. They are in each description of the videos. Any video you watch, you can click the description box and scroll down, and there's like balloons and stuff that I put that they're newly published. But yeah, they're super inexpensive and people are just eating them up. So I'm super glad. All right, guys, I'm just going to swap back to the Facebook just really quick. All right. Okay, I think I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm sure more people will come in as we get to talking, but then I feel bad because I'm like, they missed the best part. All right, so today I want to do it's called the return. And the reason I call it the return is because I think there's like 8 different planets that are coming out of retrograde in the month of October. I'm not sure what they all are. I know that the 3 big ones is Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter. And those are pretty massive. And I'm going to tell you why they're pretty massive. Pluto, I want to start with first. It's October 7th. And Eliana, we all know that Pluto rules Scorpio. So I feel like it's really going to affect you. So I'm glad you came in today. But October 7th, mark that day on your calendar. I actually circled it on my calendar. Because everyone's saying to be really cautious on October 7th. You want to be really cautious because of the other alignments that are happening with Pluto moving direct, okay? Pluto, of course, Scorpio, transformation, death, life, that type of situation. So every time something dies, something new comes to life, right? So it's very much about it's one of those days where like you don't want to ask any questions that you don't want the answers to. You know what I mean? So that's what October 7th is going to be like. You'll want to stay away from crowds on that day. I feel like it's definitely going to affect Scorpios more than it's going to affect other people, especially Scorpio, sun or moon. But I just feel like that's just going to be a really big day. But I said Pluto represents death. And what it is whenever you're wanting to make like a change, you have to accept some sort of sacrifice, right? Like there can't be a gain without a loss. So we're definitely feeling the loss. And so on October 7th, it is going to be the day where like something is going to drop away that needs to drop away that just no longer suits your greater good. But it is going to seem like a sacrifice. And so that's the not fun part, right? So October 7th, just mark it on your calendar. Super big day. It is a comeback to life type of situation. So if you feel like things have been dormant or really stale or slow, you'll see things start to pick up more, like quicker. So that part is good. Saturn is going to do it on October 12th, and Saturn is in Aquarius, so it's going to go direct on October 12th. Saturn is about karma and karmic relationships. So we've all kind of been dealing with that while it's been in retrograde. So Saturn is about wisdom and time. You're going to see people putting like a lot more effort into things. You're going to see teamwork. You're going to see teams of people like conquering massive achievements, like things you've been like holding you back, not able to do something because you needed someone to help, that type of situation. Then we have Jupiter, and Jupiter is the last one, and it's on October 18th. Jupiter also in Aquarius. Jupiter is about expansion, adventure, transparency. It's about truth. So the most of the stuff that I was reading to get my information, or watching today to get my information, truth is a big thing. October is going to be full of truth. So I also feel like if you've been keeping secrets or like trying to keep something from someone, something like that, October is the month that it comes out. So prepare yourself for that too. Oh, Miss Tina's here. Miss Tina has messaged me to let me know she's leaving work. Oh, and she's still listening. I love you. Thank you. All right. So Jupiter. So Jupiter is going to have us like more excited because it's like the lucky planet, right? So we're going to be more excited, more outgoing. Again, people helping you accomplish certain things. Again, being able to have like these achievements of things that you've been trying to do since I would say like March. I do want to mention both of these big planets are in Aquarius. Yeah, I see. Hi, Kiki. We'll try to get some truths. But so Aquarius, I just want to say, is represents the 11th house. The 11th house is people. It's your social activity. It's the people that you are around socially. So those people are going to want to help you do whatever it is that you're trying to do. So you're just going to see a lot of people like come together, try to help each other achieve certain things. Like I help you, you help me, that type of situation. So that's really good. So I wanted to make sure to touch on those two big planets because this Pluto thing is going to be fierce. Twin flames are doing massive release, very much like it's a completion to some sort of like codependent lesson that we've all been learning. And so because it's so big and so, it's Pluto and Scorpio, yay. Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be a little painful for a lot of us. So I just want to throw out the Etsy shop if you guys need help, if something happens, if you don't understand, if you have questions. I said something massive for me right now. I wouldn't be scared, Eliana, because remember that something has to die before something comes to life, right? So you have to remove something before you can put something back in there. You see what I'm trying to say? So whatever this is with Pluto, like however it affects you, whether it's like your money or your love life, whatever, and really you can tell if you guys have your birth charts, like you can look at your birth chart and see what it's going to affect. But if you have your birth chart, Eliana, shoot it to me. It doesn't matter, Etsy or in my email. Just shoot it to me, and I'll take a look at it. If you don't and you want to, let me know, and we'll get you one and see what's going on. But here's what's going to happen. Whatever the situation is it's going to clear a path, right? It is very much like a tower. It's very, the alignments, the other alignments that I said are causing like for you to have to be cautious, is Mars. And so Mars is, yeah. So whatever it is, it's going to be like a tower card. But when it happens, just know, like, don't panic, stay calm. It's not going to be anything that I feel like we can't remain in control. But I do feel like it's going to be like a tower moment. Like it's going to be something fierce. But when it happens, just remember that it's coming to clear a path so that something good, something better can come in. And I do think it's going to have to do, if you're in a twin flame journey, it's going to very much force us. We've been working on the codependency, right? And the releasing. And it's very much just going to force us to finish that. I'm getting like almost like a 10 of swords feeling. Like it's just a massive completion. It is a life lesson. It is something we have to learn so that we can get better and move on in our journey. But yeah, I feel like it's going to be super fierce for the twins. So like I was saying earlier, the Etsy shop, I don't have a sale or anything on there. If you need a coupon, please let me know. Most of the readings are like $20. If that's too much, I have no problem making you coupons. I can make coupons all the way up to 75% off now. So whatever it is, just shoot me a message and I'll be more than happy to help. I just feel like this October 7th is really going to hit people a little harder than people are expecting. I really expected them to talk about this a lot sooner. And I did notice that like the dates were different with whatever astrologist I was listening to. Like some of them said Saturn would be October 10th, but I had October 12th. So, I mean, it just really depends. It doesn't matter. You're going to feel the energy when you feel the energy. It's going to be around that date. But you probably do, Ariana, especially if it's something big, you probably do kind of sense the energy already coming. You know what I'm trying to say? I think it's funny that Kiki wrote she needed the truth from the DM, because that's seriously very much what's happening. A lot of people, and even in my own journey, it's just very much people are just kind of coming to a truce. You know what I'm trying to say? Like the energies are really tired of battling each other and they're really just trying to like merge and work together. What about the rest of you guys? Do you sense this energy? Like, do you sense this Pluto? And Pluto's been in retrograde, but do you sense it like coming out of retrograde? Like, do you sense people say they feel like something's impending or they feel like something's on the way? Mercury is still in retrograde while this is happening. So I definitely feel like people are going to see people returning, whether they're ready or not. I don't know. I just don't want to be negative about it, but I just want everybody to be cautious about it. Like boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. It is. It is tiring. Kiki says it is tiring. All right. It is very much so. I feel super exhausted. I feel like I try to keep doing all these things to like pick up my energy or like raise my vibration. And it lasts for short periods of time. And then it's like, it just comes right back. And it's like, wow, this thing is powerful. Like, I don't know. On one hand, I'm kind of glad to know that that's what we've been feeling. And that's why it's gotten heavier and heavier and heavier. But I'm also glad to know that like, it's over. So whatever you guys have been working on all year, tell me what you guys have been working on. Like I know some of you have your own healing work that you do. I know some of you have like different artistic, creative things that you do. Like tell me about does it feel like you've been stuck? Does it feel like it's been pushed down and like you're trying to break through with something and like it just won't happen or something won't come, something like that? And have you felt the energy of like where it's returning? It's very much Pluto coming out of retrograde. Can be scary. I feel like it's going to be scarier for Scorpios. Eliana, I'm not trying to freak you out. I promise. We'll even just do a reading for you just to like make sure. I promise. But I just feel like it's very much just like a clearing a path, taking something out that just no longer is needed. And another thing, I know I said it could be like money, like a job, career, but it could be love, relationship. But it could also just be a thought. Like it could also be someone could have told you something and you just believed it for so long. You know what I mean? And it's like, this is going to be the awakening moment when you realize that, hey, this is not the case. Or it could be a thought you told yourself, something you told yourself that is just kind of been hindering you or pushing you down or keeping you like from being able to do what it is that you want to do. It gets hot in here quick, don't it? Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna tell you guys, I've decided to make a new spread. I'm gonna call it the money scope. And I totally base this on these planets coming out of retrograde, because I feel like our money is going to pick up. I feel like things are going to get a little bit more exciting. I feel like from October to the end of the year, whatever you've been working on this year is just going to come in a lot easier and you're going to be more successful. So I made a little spread just to see like how money is being affected or has been affected. So like something you need to know, maybe something you could work on, and then like some practical steps to, change those things. So I want to know, is anyone interested, or do you guys just want me to do like a general? Do you want me to do them personal? Yes, absolutely. Eliana says, just a lot of self-love for me, but definitely felt stuck. Nothing was coming and felt like I was doing too much. But now I feel like spirit is like, okay, time to get rewarded. That is so true, Eliana. That's exactly what is happening. Jupiter, of course, also rewards. So yes, these are big planets to be going direct. So I'm super excited to like get through this period. But I do know, again, I just mark October 7th because I do feel, and it could be like a day before, a day after. Yeah, I just feel like it's going to be a really high tension filled day. Of being forced to do something that we don't want to do. So yeah, I feel like it's not going to be an easy day. Like for me, I'm going to have to be really cautious. Like I don't know. I get like butt hurt so easily. You know what I mean? Somebody can say something to me like the wrong way, like when my energy is low, and it's like, what? And it's so I feel like the October 7th, I literally circled it. Like I'm gonna stay home and like make popcorn and binge watch movies and yeah, just not do anything on that particular day. Eliana says she's gonna avoid the gym that day. All right, so let's just do a general, like what's happening with your money and something that you need to know. Ooh, so we have the Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords is self-restriction. So if you do feel like there's something hindering you from being able to grow or being able to have abundance, it could be just saying it's something you're doing to yourself. And of course, swords, I immediately got like thoughts. Like someone could be having negative thoughts, like this is never going to happen. It's never going to come in, something like that. Next thing we'll look at is where in your life is it affecting you? Ooh, strength. So Leo energy. I don't know why I keep saying ooh. I'm sorry. Leo energy, strength, of course, is like it could just be making you weak. I also got like this could have a health, there could be a health situation. Like it could be making you like physically weak. All right. So practical steps, like how do you get out of this self-restriction? Ooh, Three of Cups. I keep saying ooh, I don't know why. But the Three of Cups is a celebration. It's your soul tribe, teamwork. It's like these people come to celebrate some sort of achievement with you. So I'm getting like soul tribe, like someone who's close to you, your closest friends, family, that type of situation. And now I want to look at the possible outcome. Five of Wands. So Five of Wands can be that challenges do continue to come up, but I don't think that's what it is just because of the alignments that's coming through. Five of Wands is also about training. So I feel like it's possible that you have been under some sort of training and that's what you're building up to, or it's possible that these people are going to come in and work with you and you'll train together. So I know like for me particularly, this is very much kind of what's happening. Just like Morgan being here today to help me with the live. So it takes more than one person. I don't know how some of these tarot readers get on here and they do all the things by themselves. I haven't figured all that out yet. So I definitely have to have like someone help me, right? So I made her my manager on my YouTube channel so she can go in and like do whatever she has to do. I don't know if you guys were here for the live where the real special fella came in to be with us and share all his wonderful words. Um, and I hadn't sent her the thing in time before the live, so she wasn't able to delete it. So we kind of just had to wait him out until he left. But yeah, now we won't have that problem no more. So
that was a really long one. So I did.
it was. Kiki says, I just developed anxiety last month and it's affecting me physically. I'm stressed, but this one event triggered my anxiety. So working with my therapist and figuring out what's triggering. Wouldn't it be, it's something when, Kiki, do you do much work with astrology? Like, do you study astrology or listen to other tarot readers that talk about astrology? Um, a lot of times we're being triggered and we think it's an outside source. And I'm not saying you in particular for this, just your comment. I'm just saying, like, I just know this is what's happening with other people is we're being triggered outside source. And then it's really like the astrology of the situation. It's the alignments that we're in. She says she does. Good. So if you hear them talking and they talk about all the different astrological aspects we've been going through, especially since March. Actually, that's not true. You got to go all the way back to like November of last year, like when the Great Conjunction happened, when the when those two big planets, Jupiter and Saturn, moved into Aquarius. I mean, I feel like everything's just really been changing since then. It's been a slow, dragged out feeling. Um, but yeah, I think I've been triggered a lot. And a lot of times it doesn't even have anything to do with anything I'm doing or thinking or saying. It's just the environment, like the energy, like the alignments, like all the different aspects of everything that's happening. And I really don't understand how come people don't talk about it more often. It's so weird to me. Like I am so affected by the different I'm super excited about these three planets coming out of retrograde. I'm just saying, but like I feel like my life personally is super affected by all these aspects, all these astrological things, and nobody talks about it. Like no one says, "Hey, you might feel this way because Mars is pissed and it's over here." You know what I mean? Like that type of situation. All right. So, did anybody resonate with the money reading? Did anybody feel like there's something that they're doing personally to keep themselves from growing or being able to gain abundance? Like, is it possible like negative thinking could keep you from manifesting whatever it is that you're trying to get? And I feel like it would be something you've been working on since like, I don't know, I would say March. I feel like really in November when all this stuff happened with the planets moving into Aquarius and the Great Conjunction and all the things, um, it really didn't start taking effect until March. And I feel like that's why we really didn't start feeling all the energy until March.
I'm leaning back because I noticed one there.
Oh, you're okay. My thing is lagging. All right, so my thing's acting funny. So if you guys like if it blurs out or the sound goes out, I apologize. It came right back. There is a little bit of a delay, but not too terribly bad. All right, who's got questions? Morgan, you have to ask me a question to fill the space.
I don't know.
All right, guys, you gotta ask me something because otherwise we'll have to shut it down so YouTube doesn't yell at me. Eliana says she's thinking ... What about just a general? Go ahead.
Like how planets like what's the word? What's the word?
The aspects, astrological aspects, retrograde. How do the retrogrades?
Planets retrograde. I forgot where I was going with that question. Trying to think about that word.
So that's actually a really good question. So Morgan's asking me about retrogrades. Like what is a retrograde? So planets do a certain thing, right? Like they all represent certain parts of certain situations. And when they're in what people consider retrograde, it's because they look like they're going backwards. They're not actually physically moving backwards in the atmosphere, but it just looks like they're going backwards. But it causes them to do like opposite things of, for example, Mercury retrograde. We have three Mercury retrogrades a year, and they're all about like communication. So a lot of times people say that like there's miscommunications and things like, cameras and computers and phones and things like that will mess up when there's a Mercury retrograde. We are in the last Mercury retrograde. All right, let's just do some general. Let's do like the stuff to cross. Eliana says whichever. Oh, Jenna says she's a bit overwhelmed with the new home. Tell me about it, Jenna. Why are you? I mean, other than it's a new home and moving. And have you been using your cards? Have you been using your Queen of the Moon cards? Eliana, you don't have to ask anything. Let's just get a general and see what's coming out. Let's look at like let's deal with like the October 7th. Like let's deal with the Pluto retrograde. Like what's Pluto retrograde bringing for Eliana? The Hermit. Wow. Ooh, the Lovers. King of Cups. Page of Wands. Justice. And the Six of Swords. Do you see that Five of Cups down there? The Strength card again. Five of Wands again. All right. So challenges definitely. But just remember, Eliana, whatever challenges you're facing, whatever is happening, and it's clearly with your twin journey. Look, you got the Lovers card and the King of Cups. And the King of Cups is, of course, like my clue card for the twins. So whatever you're facing, whatever is happening or going to happen with the situation, um, like especially this moving away card, like this going to a calmer situation. Um, when that happens, just know that whatever reason you won't see it, like you won't know why. You're just gonna be like, wow, that stinks, and this situation is leaving. The reason that it's leaving is so that something better can come in. You're making room for something better. And I totally said I was going to do the cross, and then I didn't. So I guess this is what was supposed to come out. All right, but for the Hermit, of course, why do I always forget the Hermit? Virgo. Could be Virgo energy. So this 3, look at 4, look at that. No, 3. All right, so 3 out of 6, I feel like it's going to be pretty big. So like the more major arcanas that come out when I do a reading, like the more I can tell like how big it's going to be, like the situation's going to be. The Hermit, I feel like that's where you have been. You kind of have, like you were saying earlier, you've been doing a lot of self-care and self-love and that type of situation. Page of Wands just tells me like you're super excited to do that. You're super excited to start this journey. But the Lovers and the Justice card coming out there. And if you remember, it's Saturn, right? Saturn is the planet of karma and like karmic relationships. So if your twin is in a karmic relationship, there could be some sort of balance coming to that. But if you have some sort of karmic lesson that you need to learn, I feel like there could be some sort of balance to that. I don't know about you personally, Eliana, but I know like as a collective, we've very much been dealing with like the codependency. And I feel like that should have been our first lesson on this journey, but it wasn't for whatever reason. So I feel like, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like as you go through this journey, the further you get, the codependency almost gets worse, right? And then it's like now you got to deal with this situation. It's like, well, thanks, because it wasn't this bad, at this point, and you know what I mean. So, but King of Cups is like your mentor, your counselor. It's someone you trust with your emotions. We don't trust as many people as we would think with our emotions. But it says that someone is leaving some sort of chaotic situation, like they're taking themselves to calmer waters. So I would say, Eliana, if there's a third party in your situation, that it's very much saying that that could be what is happening. But I don't think you're going to see it as like a yay moment. When that does happen, nobody has the yay moment when that kind of situation happens. It's very difficult. It's a very like painful completion to a life lesson for all parties involved. So I feel like that potentially could be like your big October 7th moment.
Chickens about with retrograde break for her. And Jenna has her cards and they're beautiful.
Oh, that's awesome. Yes, Jen, I'll always do that. Like I always, when I'm watching other lives for other tarot readers that I watch, I love pulling cards for myself while I'm watching it, just because I feel like I can get all the energy. You know what I mean? All the energy, and it's just the more people like I don't know, it's just awesome. So I would definitely do that. Jenna says she's going to get her cards, and she was thinking about shuffling and pulling one out. Eliana says definitely codependent, and that is the hardest lesson. It is for me too. So don't worry, you're not in the boat by yourself. All right. So Kiki wants to know, what is this retrograde bringing for me? Okay, so this retrograde, as in the Mercury retrograde we're happening right now, or are you talking about these big planets moving direct, like moving out of retrograde? Do you want to see what that is going to bring for you, like we just did for Eliana? I think that's what she meant. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle and get ready. But let me know if that's what you meant. I think I want to use the Gilded Tarot. All right, Kiki. I'm going to go ahead and pull them like I did for Eliana. The release card. Jenna pulled the release card. See? Codependent. Very much releasing. And like for people that thought, look at that union card. For people that thought that they had released previously, awesome. Yeah, that was not, look at that King of Cups coming back out. Ooh. For people who thought they had released previously, and I'm just gonna just tell you, like including myself, um, we're learning that there was still more to release. There's still more to go. Like it's like you think you learned something, and it's like, no, you're not done. There's still more. So I just want you guys to know. Look, Tiffany's here. Hi, Tiffany. So I just want you guys to know you're not all alone. Like we are all very much in the same boat. I wish we talked about it more often and it wasn't such a secret. I'm just letting you know October is the month of truth. So if you are keeping a secret, October it's coming out. So just letting everybody know. All right. So Kiki, you got the King of Cups, of course, Twin Flame Clue card. You also got the Union, but Union can also be about that financial security. Um, yeah, I don't think it is after I look at the rest of the cards. But I do feel like a lot of us are dealing with our finances, and are dealing with like how our abundance comes in and how we manifest abundance and that type of situation. So, and it is very much like a self-restriction. It's something that we're doing to like stop ourselves from being able to do it. Most of the time, it's just negative thinking, like negative thoughts. But um, yeah, I feel like this is saying there's going to be some sort of movement. Look at the Chariot and the Judgment card together. Wow, that is massive. Okay, so Judgment, of course, is also my twin flame clue card, and it's about like your higher calling. And it doesn't have to kind of the twin flame word is driving me crazy. Like it's a soul bond, okay? It's a soul bond that you have with this person, but there's a higher purpose to this bond. The chariot card coming out with it. The chariot to me lately has been all about like rules and regulations. It's like we want to move, we want to go somewhere, but we have to stop and like follow the rules. We have to like get in our lane. We can't go and pass somebody, and you know what I mean? Like it's that type of situation. But I do feel like someone is trying to going to offer you something. Page of Cups is here. Page of Cups is like an offer. It's a small offer. It's usually not what you're wanting. You're usually wanting more than whatever the page is offering. But like the page is fearful. It's like they're trying to give you this offer, and they're super scared that you're just going to turn them down. They got to run, something like that. So it's like I'm just it's like baby steps. Like I'm going to try to give you this tiny little offer, and if it works out okay, then maybe I'll give you a little bit bigger offer, you know, that type of situation. But I do see movement. I just see that it's very much like towards your mission, towards your purpose, not necessarily like physical union. And the only reason I say that is because of Eight of Swords. So whatever is keeping the physical union, just know that Eight of Swords, something that, again, most of the time it's negative thinking, like just having negative thoughts. This is never going to happen. Stop saying it's never going to happen and start thinking of ways that it can happen, but not ways that you want it to happen. So don't say like, well, we're gonna move to France and I don't know, or Italy and eat pizza for the rest of our lives. Like, don't say that. Be like, you know, we're gonna work together. I don't know how, but we're going to. We're going to help others. We're going to do this collectively. We're going to teach others what unconditional love is by example. Say those types of things. Like every time you catch yourself just having like a negative thought, just try to replace it. With something positive that you can and will do. All right, so that's what I think is coming for her when the planets go direct. What about you, Tiffany? Do you want one? Do you want to see? We were talking about how we have three massive planets going direct, which means they're going out of retrograde. And it's going to cause us to drop something away, something that we're going to feel like is a little bit sacrificial. Um, and it could have something to do with money or love. It really depends on your own birth chart, like which one you're going to be dealing with. I got hair on my lips. I'm sorry. But depending on your birth chart is which one it'll tell you if you have one. You can actually look at it and see as Pluto is going direct, like what is it that you're going to be dealing with. Most people, it is relationships. It is this way because Mercury is still in retrograde when Pluto goes direct. So what's going to happen is like old people will come back around, like older energies will come back around, but it's usually like relationships.
If the thing doesn't want one, you can do fine.
All right, sweet. Morgan said, Tiffany, if you don't want one, I can do hers. So I'm going to do Morgan's next. But yeah, so all these things are kind of happening. Career wise, it can be career if you're more focused like on your money, you're not focused like on relationships. It won't say that you're going back towards an old job, but it could say that you'll lose a job in order to get a better job. So something like that. Like that's really money wise, that's how, you know, that situation would work out. All right, let's do Morgan's. Let's see what is coming in for Morgan's. So Kiki says negative thoughts is tough sometimes. I think that's why my anxiety came up. Too much worry. Thank you. Again, Kiki, me too. So we're not in the boat alone. So I mean, I don't know about you, but that always makes me feel good. Like when I'm sitting here and I'm struggling and I'm having a rough time, I'm like, I can go live and we can sit here and talk about this and I'm going to make it just fine. But yeah, like it does seem like the energy is getting super intense. This end of Pluto retrograde is fierce. Anxiety, people are having night terrors, bad dreams. I mean, it's just super intense. Look, we have a Tower card. So that Tower card and Ace, I feel like that's just definitely a confirmation. It's kind of what I just said earlier, that something comes in, Tower moment comes in, and kind of like knocks something out over, brings something to light, shows you something you didn't know. But it is so that you can have this new beginning. And then, of course, the Ace of Wands is something that's very passionate. So I feel like don't panic when something happens. It's going to be okay. Queen of Pentacles, and the Five of Wands tells me like you've been learning how to be more resourceful. You've been learning how to save your money. You've been learning how to spend less money. You've been learning where to spend your money or something like that. And then look at this, the Six of Pentacles and the Ten of Wands. So if you have been feeling, because the Six of Pentacles says someone helps you complete some sort of like something that has you exhausted. You've been stressing about, worried about. It's been like a heavy burden on your shoulder. Six of Pentacles says someone comes in and like balances things out. But on the other hand, too, if you feel like your energy is being pulled in too many directions, like you are giving to a lot of people and you're not receiving in return, I could feel like that could be a lesson that's coming to a completion also. So it looks like Morgan's is super money oriented. Tower moment, I'm not really sure like what could happen between now and then that would cause you to have a tower moment. But Ace of Wands is pretty big card to come out here. Five of Wands is challenges. So you could be having challenges with resources, but I think you've been training, like practicing, something like that. But that Ace of Wands is pretty big. Aces are awesome because they're new. Wands are exciting. It's an action. So to me, like that could definitely be like maybe you don't get the job that you wanted, but you get a different job. And it's one that's going to be like more exciting than the one you thought you wanted. Something like that. She said she can live with that. So Jenna says very intense and she has been very anxious. Could use a vacation somewhere tropical. We're gonna have to do that. We're just all of us, we're gonna have to get together one day and just go somewhere where it's warm and they bring you the drinks and those little coconut things. Absolutely. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like it's been so intense for so long that it's kind of like that Ten of Wands feeling, right? It's like that heavy burden on your shoulder and it's like it won't lighten up. But I definitely feel like with the October 7th, that it's going to release. There's going to be a massive release. And I think it's pretty cool that Jenna pulled the release card because it's very much what's happening. All right, guys. So it looks like we've been on for about 43 minutes. I touched on all the points that I can think of. Make sure to write it in your calendar. I circled it in mine, October 7th. Understand that it can happen a couple days before. It can happen a couple days after. My energy always comes super early, so I feel like I will experience it, probably a few days before. But yeah, just be extra cautious that day. Really like focus on your empathy that day. Really try to, if someone hurts you, that understand that hurt people hurt people. There's a reason that this person is acting this way. If someone says something mean to you, because Mercury is still going to be in retrograde when this happens, just be cautious how you respond. You know what I mean? Just try to respond with unconditional love for everyone. And I feel like Spirit will reward you as long as you can take like the higher road, that type of situation. Oh, Kiki's in Hawaii. I do remember that Kiki's in Hawaii. It tells me that in her Etsy. You're so lucky. Everybody, we're going to Kiki's. And what a beautiful name. Of course she's in Hawaii. But yeah, just try to take it easy. October is going to be an amazing month, and it's actually going to be the beginning of several good months. I really feel like this holiday season is going to be super awesome for a lot of us. You're going to start to see a lot of achievement, a lot of things move in. Eliana, you will too. I feel like it's just going to be different than what you were expecting. And I just want to say, Eliana, we all at one point were expecting something different than what actually happened. But what happens when you release your expectation and you start working with the energy, beautiful things start to come in. And those two big planets, Saturn and Jupiter, coming out of retrograde, are really going to Saturn, the more like, I don't want to say meaner planet, but it's like the more rules and regulations planet. And Jupiter's like the more go lucky, go with the flow kind of planet. They're going to be coming out of retrograde together, both of them in Aquarius together. And it's really going to kind of bring us some smooth sailing. So just remember that when you're going through your October 7th energy. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and jump off here. Thank you so much for joining me. And I am sending all of you abundant love and light on your journey. Thank you, Eliana.